لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد نبينا بنور هدينا.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, is making steady progress in its effort to roll out the Hajj Savings Scheme. In furtherance of this drive, a two-day seminar was organized in Abuja to create more awareness on the project amongst NAHCON staff and other stakeholders.
A Hajj Savings Scheme means...
Making a presentation at the occasion, the head of Hajj Savings Scheme of the Commission, Ahmed Sani, touched on key aspects of the scheme.
Now, a Hajj Savings Scheme means a deposit-taking scheme to create a savings culture for both adults and children. Why we put both adults and children is because people think it is when you come of age, that is when you are matured, 18 and above, that you can go for Hajj. Yes, it is. But you can start saving very early. We can save for our children, we can save for our families, we can save for our brothers and sisters. And it creates a more disciplined approach to financing Hajj. That is queuing as against the pay-as-you-go that we are currently experiencing. That people go for or pay for Hajj on instinct. Whenever you get the money, you just go and pay for Hajj. Now, Hajj Savings Scheme will create orderliness and queuing in terms of payment, and it will help in the long-term investable funds to support the real sector.
The presentation generated comments, observations and questions from participants.
But what Malam Bashir did not work, Ahmed did not work on is that why do you want to save your money? One, your seat is guaranteed. It's very key. It's very key in savings. Because if I save and I'm not sure of my seat, then why do I save money? The peasant farmer is not interested in the interest on his money. His interest is to go to Hajj and come back. So you have to do a lot of certain percentage of allocations has to be assigned to a savings scheme. So that as soon as your savings mature, your Hajj is guaranteed.
As far as I'm concerned, has both short-term and long-term objectives. While the short-term is going to be a better approach towards efficient and better planning and operation of Hajj, in the sense that you will be having in good time the numbers of pilgrims to cater for, and that means we will have better and smoother operation. And in the long run, as has been said already, that we will be mobilizing investable funds that will be channeled towards development.
The deposit is going to be collected. In collecting a deposit, an account needs to be opened. If an account needs to be opened, definitely some regulations will apply in terms of also KYC requirements, and also country-specific, like Nigeria, the issue of also BBN will apply.
I believe that, inshallah, with all the hurdles, whether in the establishment act, whether the stakeholders, whatever, if we are committed, the staff, at any point in time, and we challenge ourselves that yes, it's going to take off and it's going to be a reality, so shall it be. May Allah help us.
Thank you very much. That it is important we open our minds.
Speaking earlier, NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar Mohammed said the Commission is awaiting government's response to its recommendations on the management of the scheme.
We have made appropriate recommendation to government, and as soon as government finish consideration of that recommendation, the trustees will be formally inaugurated so that they will start their job. As the name implies, they are trustees and they are not going to derive any salary from the activity. And they are not going to be full-time members. They will sit occasionally to review the mode of operation of the scheme. That is why, in our own little wisdom, we feel it is appropriate to have a division with relevant, competent staff to handle that program.
Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar stressed on the need for increased public awareness on the benefits of the Hajj Savings Scheme.
If the staff don't promote the project, if the staff don't propagate the project, if staff are not ambassadors of the project, then those that were expecting to queue into the project will also have doubt. They will not feel comfortable. And the project will be dead on arrival. So I think it's the right thing that the division in charge of the Hajj Savings Scheme starts by creating awareness within. Then they will take it to the next level of engaging the states, then the public.
The establishment of the Hajj Savings Scheme is in line with provisions of NAHCON Acts. In its efforts to upgrade Hajj camps across the country and equip them with modern facilities, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON has started work at the Kaduna State Hajj camp in Mando. The project, which is to be undertaken in phases, involves the construction of pilgrims' accommodation or hotels, clinic, renovation of mosques, and the building of toilets, among others. NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar Mohammed visited the camp to assess the level of work done. Imam Hussein Uhu Ikara is the overseer of Kaduna State Pilgrims Welfare Boards. He explains more about the project.
As the outcome of the visit of the National Hajj Commission Chairman to inspect the ongoing development project of the camps all over Nigeria, which Kaduna is one of the camps that will be developed. And this development is out of the development levy that pilgrims are paying every year.
Work is also in progress at Lagos, Sokoto and Kano State's Hajj camps. The NAHCON chairman had in August this year carried out similar inspection tour of the FCT Hajj camp. NAHCON is planning to upgrade all Hajj camps across the country. In the meantime, the Kaduna State Pilgrims Welfare Board has commenced the registration of intending pilgrims for the 2019 Hajj. A statement by the board's public relations officer, Yunusa Mohammed, says the board will not carry out registration by proxy. It advised intending pilgrims to avail themselves for the exercise. In another vein, the overseer of the board, Imam Hussein Uhu Ikara, has called on female intending pilgrims to come along with their male guardian when registering, as this is in line with the requirements of Saudi government. While warning members of the registration committees, Imam Husseini said all intending pilgrims must have guarantors before being registered. He said the guarantor should be a Jumu'ah Imam, district head, or a civil servant not below grade level 12. The statement further says that in line with the Saudi government guidelines, those who perform the Hajj in the last 2 years must pay the additional 2,000 Saudi riyals. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has charged the State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board on early preparations for the 2019 Hajj to avoid hitches. The governor disclosed this in Benin while receiving the 2018 Hajj report. He said the state government will continue to support Muslims in the state to perform their religious rites comfortably. Governor Obaseki said he will study the report to ensure that more Muslims from the state participate in future Hajj.
The end of every Hajj operations is usually a period for the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON to hold a stock-taking meeting with Hajj stakeholders. 2018 is not any different, and so the Commission held separate meetings with Hajj stakeholders to take stock of Hajj activities in the period under review. The idea is to consolidate on gains recorded as well as draw up plans for subsequent Hajj exercises. The first such meeting took place in Abuja on the 18th of October 2018 with the executives of state pilgrims boards, agencies or commissions. The second was with the licensed tour operators. On all occasions, the meeting were presided over by NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar Muhammad.
We want to use the opportunity of today to take stock of what happened.
Speaking at the session with executive secretaries of state pilgrims boards, the chairman restated the aim of the meeting, which he said was to review the 2018 Hajj exercise and in the process identify some of the challenges experienced with a view to finding lasting solutions to them. The meeting, he further added, also focused on preparations for the 2019 Hajj. The chairman gave further insights.
You will agree with me that this exercise requires constant review and consistent planning all year round so as to succeed. There is no way we will succeed if we slip and we fail to plan ahead of time.
He said more commitment is needed from stakeholders in all aspects of Hajj management, particularly in the area of training, monitoring and evaluation of services.
It requires training and retraining of the Hajj managers, research in various areas, as well as study tour and consultation with other institutions and countries that participate in the annual Hajj activity. And of course, it requires constant monitoring and evaluation of the progress of our planning towards the Hajj.
The chairman attributed the successes recorded in 2018 Hajj to the spirit of teamwork exhibited by all stakeholders. He urged all parties not to relent and further advised them to strive to consolidate and improve on what has been achieved. Other key issues deliberated upon at the meeting were installment Hajj payments, flight operations, Mecca and Medina accommodation, tent services, catering services, medical services and distribution of luggages and Zamzam. Others include e-registration of pilgrims, commencement of pilgrims registration for 2019 Hajj, as well as obtaining of new licenses by states. The meeting further appreciated the support of other relevant stakeholders such as the Saudi government and its agencies on Hajj, Nigerian security agencies, Central Bank of Nigeria, traditional rulers and first aid groups, among others.
Topics discussed.
State executive secretaries who took part in the meeting commented on the resolutions.
Newly introduced scheme, that is pay by installment scheme that they have just introduced, is a welcome development for the less privileged one who is yearning to participate in the Hajj exercise. Maybe in 4 years, and when he starts depositing his money for Hajj in the next 4 years, he can say, by so period, I will be going on the holy pilgrimage.
Also, the introduction of Umrah services by state pilgrims boards. This will enhance the revenue of the state, and also it will give us more experience in handling the Hajj affairs. I think this is a very important innovation that's trying to, which is the Commission is trying to come out with, and it's a welcome idea. All the states boards and commissions have welcomed this idea, and we are going to support the leadership of the Commission wholeheartedly to implement these new policies.
Good policies towards uplifting the Hajj activities in Nigeria. So it is really a welcome idea, and the topics discussed are also very important topics that were discussed, and solutions were arrived at, alhamdulillah.
Inshallah, they are working on this with the ICT people.
In a related development, on Monday the 22nd of October 2018, NAHCON held a similar meeting with chief executives of licensed tour companies. This also was in Abuja. NAHCON chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar Muhammad spoke on the importance of the meeting.
Is for us to review the 2018 Hajj while we still have fresh memory of what happened, identify areas of challenges, gray areas that we need to address, identify our strengths and weaknesses. Our strength we consolidate and improve upon it. Our areas of weakness, we propose solution to it. Just like any other human endeavor, there is nothing that you can call perfection. But gradually we'll continue to improve, we'll continue to identify lapses till we reach that level of satisfaction that as human beings we have done what is humanly possible to provide the best of services to our people.
It disclosed that as a prelude to the 2018 Hajj preparations, Nigerian Hajj officials have been invited by the Saudi government for an MOU meeting in December 2018.
So I want to invite the leadership of AHUN to join us if Allah spare our life for that meeting, so that at least the outcome of the immediate meeting with the leadership of the Ministry of Hajj will be communicated to everybody so that we know where we are heading to. If you observe this kind of meetings normally in the past, comes in either February or March. But gradually things are changing. In the last 3 years, Nigeria is being invited among the first 3 or first 5 nations to be attended to by the Saudi authority.
The NAHCON chairman used the opportunity to advise licensed tour operators to be more watchful so as to avoid cases of pilgrims overstaying or absconding during Hajj or Umrah.
If people want to go to stay in Saudi legitimately, work and earn a living, there is a procedure to that. We should follow and encourage people, educate people to follow the right procedure. Once the time of their visa elapses or expire or about to expire, we should always educate people to exit out of the kingdom. This is important in the interest of our name as a nation and in the interest of our religion.
In trying to see that most of our challenges.
Alhaji Abdullahi Butu is the current acting president of the Association of Hajj and Umrah Operators in Nigeria, AHUN. He spoke at the event, touching on challenges often experienced by the operators and measures taken to address them.
Even up to 8 hours of our traveling, even 2 days to Arfa, Chairman always called to hear that where do we have passengers that are not yet even able to travel. The arrangement of there's a station, there's arrangement of airline in Kano, there's arrangement of airline. So he called frequently every day to ascertain that whether there are tour operators that have passengers that cannot be able to move to Saudi Arabia. We had to acknowledge that also, and thank the Chairman of the Hajj Commission of Nigeria for this caring and putting much consideration to see that we have met up with all our responsibility.
While appreciating NAHCON for its support, he said the association will do more in 2019 to make its monitoring team effective.
Due to the late arrangement, we have faced some challenges which we sit at the last meeting agreed to have an early arrangement so that next year Hajj, the monitoring committee will be more effective so that all planning is being started from yesterday to make sure that each and every arrangement would now be on the top gear.
After the speeches, the meeting entered its second session and was presided over by NAHCON Commissioner of Operations Abdullahi Modibosale, with deliberations focusing on the following issues: patronage of service providers, compliance with Saudi reforms on Hajj, meeting deadline on remittance and payments to NAHCON by state pilgrims boards, and human trafficking and the abscondment of pilgrims. Others include account reconciliations, issuance of licenses for 2019 Hajj and Umrah exercise, and use of ICT in Hajj operations, as well as international bank account number, IBAN.
And then when we arrive at something, then we now compile it. We have a secretariat here, and we take it to the commission, where it will be deliberated further, and if accepted and in conformity with the objectives and principles and policies of the commission, then they get ratified and implemented.
So if, for instance, the IBAN account is opened early enough, the fund can also be sent there early enough. That is one. Two, I don't know whether the issue of the deadline for payment, without adherence to deadline for payment, we'll continue to have problem of overpayment, underpayment, and then delay in receiving the fund.
If you have overstayers, your license may not be approved. But once you fulfill due diligence, you have your license and it will be approved and it will be forwarded to the embassy and the consulate in Kano.
The chairman has just mentioned to us this morning that going forward there will be online application for license. So the question of filling forms and stamping and erasing and all that will now become a thing of the past. So I don't think that will also be of concern to the commission, except if the online application does not also include Umrah license, then we know that we can still keep on filling forms.
The areas to improve on as well.
Participants at the end of the meetings spoke on the importance of such meetings, saying that it has helped in addressing their challenges, as well as come up with new plans to further uplift Hajj operations.
We have achieved a lot. We have known better. We have known how best to organize our events in the future, inshallah. We have equally, known the areas to improve on as well, going forward. Basically, we discovered that a lot of things that we need to have done in the past, which we have overlooked, or probably undermined, there's a need for us to actually improve in those areas as well.
We achieve a lot too, because at least there's improvement with all our complaints to the NAHCON.
As a tour operator, you cannot stop in meeting. From meetings, you get more ideas. Then the regulators also will be able to tell us the level they are taking us to, which they have been doing so, and we highly appreciate it, and we are doing everything to make sure that we even perform more than what they want us to do. That is when the people can get benefit for what they are paying for.
We also agreed that remittance of our money to Saudi should be earlier this year, so that challenges that are connected to that will be completely eliminated.
The conclusion of the stakeholders' meetings paved way for the commencement of preparations for the 2019 Hajj. Already, some states have started the registration of intending pilgrims.
الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك